Alright, today we're looking at what's, as you can see there, what's known as amortising loans and tables. So, should actually be amortising loans and amortising tables, so the tables show us. So, what is it? Amortising is just simply when a loan is repaid until the balance is zero. Alright, so financial institutions like to use all this weird stuff and weird names. So amortising is simply that, simply paying out the loan to zero. All right. Now, what we're doing today is these in a table, and there's some set steps in the table. So the steps can be shown in a table. All right, and that table, of course, is called an amortisation table. Amortisation table. One of those weird words that I have trouble pronouncing correctly. All right, so it's just a table, and that's terrible writing. Apologise for that. And that table, just you continue that until you have a zero balance. All right, so here in this graphic here, and if you need time to write this down here, pause the video, get it down, and then come back to it. All right, so these columns in the tables are all the same each time. So your payment number in the first column, how much you're going to pay in your payment in the second column, the amount of interest that you in that particular compounding period that you are charged, how much your principal reduces by in that payment period, and then at the end of that, after you've had your interest charged, paid your repayment, how much your balance is. So of course, to start off, we start at payment zero. So zero is the start of our loan. We don't pay anything when we start. We're not charged any interest when we start. At the start, principal reductions, nothing. And so the balance is whatever our principal of our loan is in that particular time. Then payment number one, and then you would keep, after payment 2, 3, and so on, you keep going down here. So the payment amount, that would generally remain the same. There is a little bit of a adjustment for that often in the last payment. So your last payment's obviously is often different to the other ones in between. But in the table all the way down, that's pretty much until the last one going to be the same. Now the rate per period. So our interest amount is our rate per period, so compounding period. So that's our little r that we've been using, times by the previous balance. Right, now the previous balance, in this case, because we're in payment one, the previous balance is this one here, the principal. So we'll do our interest rate for that compounding period times this principal, and that tells us our interest amount. So when we're looking at this, so we've paid some payment, so us, let's get rid of that, let's say us. So us, we do the payment. Bank charge us interest. So even though we may have paid, say for example, $200 in our payment, the bank might charge us, say for example, $5 interest. So our principal is actually not going to change by that 200, but by the 200 minus the 5, our principal is only going to go down by $195. All right, and so that's what this next column here, the principal reduction. So it's your payment that you make minus your interest you charged. Okay, and so then our balance that we now owe was our previous balance, this one, in this case, minus our principal reduction, this one. All right, and then we continue that down. So things that are going to change in this would be this column, the numbers in this column, the values in this column, and then subsequently the values in this column. Because remember, our interest is on our previous balance. So the next line down, this is the number we're going to work our interest out on. So we had in the previous exercise, we had this example of Alyssa, who borrowed $1,000, interest rate 15% per annum, compounding monthly. She was going to pay that off in 4 monthly payments of $257. So the amortisation table for Alyssa's loan would be something like this. So, for example, here we go. Set it up, payment. So at the beginning, there, and because the loan was 1,000, the balance at the start is 1,000. All right, then we go down to the first payment. So her payments are $257.85, so they'll be the same all the way down. 15% per annum, when you work that out, that's 15% over 12 months, because it's compounding monthly, and that comes out to be 1.25 when you work that out. So each month, the monthly interest amount per compounding period, 1.25%. So that's where this goes here. Times by 1,000. So because our previous balance, the previous line up, is 1,000. So $12.50 she's charged. That comes off the payment amount, $257.85 minus $12.50. So the principal is going to reduce by $245.35. And so here we go. The previous balance was 1,000. Take the $245.35, and there we are, the $754.65. We continue that. So in the next payment, still the same amount, still 1.25% per each month, but the interest is worked out not on what she, just remember these are reducing balance loans. All right, it's not simple interest, it's reducing balance loans. And so we're working out the interest on the reducing balance. And so the balance now we're looking at is this one. All right, so now you can see this particular month's $9.43 in interest. Take that off their payment, $248.42 is what she pays. Take that off our previous balance, $506, and so on. Then the next month, same process, and then the final month. Now you can see I've made some adjustments here in the final month. So $254.71 is what she owes. So really, after that last month, you're really going to want to have your principal reduction to be $254.71. All right, so that it's gone completely. So we're paying $257.85 normally. So if we work, so rather than working I'm going to need to work my interest out on my previous month. So 1.25% of the $254.71. And that's 318, and if I, or 319 should be, really, I think. Or 18, no, it's 18, sorry. No, this, there should be an 8. So when you do that, 257.85, what our normal repayment would be, 254.67. You can see it's like just a few cents difference there, 4 cents. So if we just worked out on keeping this last repayment the same, which still owe 4 cents now, that's a bit ridiculous to be still owing 4 cents. So what we do is we go, okay, so what we need to do is we need this extra 4 cents. So instead of making our last payment of 257.85, we're going to add 4 cents to that, and we're going to say 257.89. So 257.89 minus our 318 is our 254.71, and so then we end up with a balance after that of 0 rather than owing 4 cents. So just a little note here. So we adjust the last payment so that the loan is paid out. All right. So otherwise, we're going to have a balance of 4 cents. Whoops. Too many loops on the W there. Sorry about that. So otherwise, there is a balance of 4 cents. All right. And it doesn't make sense to just have a balance of 4 cents. All right. So let's have a look at an example. So quite clearly, it's going to take quite some time to fill out a table like that. All right. So on the Google Classroom, there's a picture of that you can print out and paste in. So, and then also in the Google Classroom, this example we're going to do. So because that's going to be quite time consuming, it's not likely in the exam that you're going to get the whole table to do. However, what they have done in the past on exams is they have given you part of a table. And so this, what I've got here. So business borrows $1,000 at a rate of 8% per annum. All right, so up the top here, $10,000, not 1,000. $10,000 is bought, 8% per annum. Loan was paid 4 quarterly payments. So here's our payments. The amortisation table is. All right, so, and I didn't write down what this is, but this is in your textbook. It's example 5, page 313 in your textbook is where this example comes from. And this picture, this image of this is in again on the Google Classroom. Okay, so we've got a bunch set out here, and the questions ask us about the table here. So, first of all, part A says complete the amortisation table. So we need to put a number in here, and a number in here. All right. So in line 1, let's have a look at line 1. So that's for this one here, and I'll write it down here and I'll call it line 1. So line 1, what do we have? We're told, of course, up the top we got 8%, and we're told quarter, so that's 2% per quarter, 4 quarters. So when we work that out, our interests, we're going to do that. So line 1, what's missing? So line 1, the interest is missing. So what are we looking at for line 1? We're looking 2%, so it's interest. So we're looking at 2% 2 on 100 times our previous balance, and our previous balance from line 1 is up here in line 0, which is 10,000. And when you work that out, excuse me, you get $200. So we can go up here and we can put 200, and don't forget, put the cents, because there's no cents there on that one. All right, the next line, line 2, what have we got left here? We've got our principal reduction. So our principal reduction, remember, is our payment minus our interest. So line 2 is the principal reduction, which is how much we pay in our payments, 26, 26, 20, minus the interest there, or the 151.48. All right, and when you calculate that, you get 2,474 and 72 cents. So we can put that up there, 2,474 and 72 cents. All right, then the next part of the question, we're still completing the amortisation table. So what do we got? What we've got here missing now is this one here, this last bit. So we want to know what's in here. So what is in here? That is our balance owing. So our balance owing is our previous balance minus our principal reduction. Okay, so line 3, balance owing. As I said, it's our previous balance, and so our previous balance, $5,099.08. Oops, where we go? Come back here. There we go. Oops, $5,099.08 minus the principal reduction, and the principal reduction is to this one here, 2,524.22. So 2,524.22, and when you work that out on your calculator, you find that that would equal 2,574 and 86. So we can go and we can put that up. 2,574 and 86 cents. All right. So you'll notice here on this last payment here, just kind of letting you know, but on this last payment, you'll see that it's 10 cents more. Okay, so that'll be because I want to pay it all out in that last payment. So we need to adjust that last payment again. All right, so that's part A of that question. Part B. That was part A. Part B. is the total cost. All right, so as far as you're concerned, the total cost of your loan is how much you've paid. So it's the sum of the payments. All right, so when we go back to our table, here's our payments column, the second column here. So it's the sum of all those payments. So we need to add all of those up. So you'd get your calculator and you'd do that. And when you added all those up, I'll just write it down here. It's $10,504.96. Oh yeah, sorry, there's a mistake here in this last one. That's got to be 36, not 30. So just make that adjustment. And 96. All right. So the total cost to us for our loan is the sum of those payments which we've just added up, and that is 10504 and 86 cents. All right. Now part C is the total interest. Now there's two ways you can work that out. One of the ways you can work it out is the sum of the interest charged. All right. So when we go back to our table, here's our interest column, this third column. If you add all of those up, that will be the interest. And when you add all of those up, it comes up to 504.96. Now, you'd also notice when you look at your payments and the principal of 10,000, and you look and you can see there's a 504.96 there as well. So the other way, or the total interest, is equal to the total cost minus your principal. All right, so either of those do the job, and either of those give you $504.86. That's what the bank has charged you. All right, so that's it for our amortising of loans and amortisation tables. Pretty likely that you'll get something to do with that on an exam, on one of the exams. The non-multiple choice one, the other exam, the short answer one. So you need to know that process. You need to know in your band reference where you can find this little thing up here. There we are. It's all a bit ugly now with all my scribbles. All right, so you need to know that process. All right, let's get. So this is now exercise 9B in your textbook, and it's just questions 6 and 7. All right, and as usual, if you've got any problems, make sure you give me a yell.